The next selection structure we'll talk about is the if-then-else statement. Let's take a look at our discount example again and make some changes to our policy. So let's say we have the following policy instead. If the total value of the purchase is greater than $100, then we'll say that the customers get a 10% discount. Pretty nice, right? A 10% discount? I'll take a 10% discount. But okay, so we have a 10% discount if we make a purchase greater than $100. Now, if it's not the case, so if you make a purchase that is less than or equal to $100, you get a 5% discount. I like this policy. You get a discount no matter what. I like this. But here we're just saying if you make a purchase greater than $100, you get a 10% discount. Otherwise, you get a 5% discount. To help illustrate this policy, we have another flow chart that explains what we're going to be doing here in the thought process. So we're still going to enter our total from the top, and we're going to ask ourselves, is the total greater than 100? If the answer to that is yes, then we need to have a 10% discount. So the way we would do that is we'll take our total and multiply it by 0.9. That's the same thing as saying get 90% of that value, which means we're taking 10% off. So we take that result and store it back into total, then we go down to the bottom, and that would we would print our total, which would be the 90% value or the 10% discount. Now let's say the answer to our question is no. So we're going to go right to the no part, and we're going to do our 5% discount, which we've seen before. So we just multiply our total by 0.95, store that back into total, and then we would print our total. To handle this, we can use the if-then-else statement. This is just like an if-then statement, but now we include the else portion of it, if you're familiar with the if-else statement in other languages. So now we have a true section that we handle when our condition is true. And what we're going to see is we have a different section that we would handle in case our condition is false. So let me give you the format for this. So we still have the if, the condition, the then the true statements, and we still have the end if at the bottom. But notice that we also have the word else, which is a keyword in Visual Basic, and then we have false statements, which would be placeholders for statements. So what we're doing here is if our condition is true, then the true statements portion would execute. So this executes only if the condition is true. Now, the false statements section, that would execute only if the condition is false. So we'll kind of just backtrack for a second. So if the condition is true, we'll execute the true statement portion, skip the false statement portion, and then just move on with the rest of the code. If our condition is false, we're going to skip the true statement portion of this and move down to the false statement section and run that code, and then we continue on with our program. Let's go back to our discount example with our code and see how we would use the if-then-else statement. So we still have our total, and we're entering a value in the text box, and we're going to convert it to a double and store it in total. Now let's take a look at our code that handles the if-then-else portion of it that computes a discount. So our condition is still if total is greater than 100 right here. So this is either true or false. If this is true, then we're going to execute the then portion of this statement. So that would be this line of code right here. So we would take 0.9, multiply it by total, and store it in our total. So that gives us our 10% discount. And if that happens, then we're going to skip the else portion and go down to here to handle the rest of the code. Now let's say the condition is false. So let's say total greater than 100 is false. So we would skip the true portion and we would move down to the else portion. So we would execute this line of code right here. So that would give us the 5% discount. So we would take 0.95, multiply it by total, store it in the total, and then we would resume with the rest of the program where we would concatenate the total and convert and all that.